Ladies, gentlemen, people of the Phantom Punch podcast universe, fuck is up?
Yes sir, back again.
Yes, sir. What up, my guy? How you been? How's things going? I see you out there moving and shaking. Finally in the gym.
Missing in action for the first 3 weeks. I was back.
You're so full of
Now
shit.
you back. You finally started running this week, and now you want to motherfucking make posts. You want to make posts now.
All I know is, listen, man. People are seeing my posts from the gym. Nobody's seeing your posts from the gym, though. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Nah, I work in silence. Man. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen of the Phantom Punch podcast universe, I am Johnny Southpaw here with my guy, Apollo Ali. We are back to talk more boxing, to talk more shit to each other.
Yes, sir.
And just in general about the sport, I guess. You know what I mean?
Let's get into it, man.
Wildness happened this past weekend. First and foremost, I don't even want to jump off there. We're not even about to jump off there. We're gonna start the pod on a positive note.
Yeah.
First and foremost, huge, massive shout out to Ray Savage Ford, Camden's own,
Indeed.
South Jersey's own. I will
Yes,
add a round of applause. You know what I
big
mean?
facts.
Big shout out to our
Keep
guy.
doing what you doing, my boy.
Fam, he looked spectacular.
Yes, sir.
He looked great. In
sir.
front of the big lights at Madison Square Garden.
Yep.
I mean, the kid fought the best fight that I've ever seen him fight up until this point.
Absolutely.
I mean, moving, shaking.
Rejuvenated. He's focused. You know, he had a lot of stuff going on. When he caught that unfortunate draw.
Had a kid.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like real life things happening. So
Right.
I mean, it's understandable if you you know, you're a little distracted. But he seems to be completely rejuvenated, fully focused, and you know, looking beautiful out there, man. So shout out to Ray for that for sure.
Absolutely. Looking
Well, I mean,
fantastic. I think
What can you say about the performance? I mean,
first of all, I can say a lot of shit about the DAZN folks because Sergio Mora sounded terrible commentating that fight. I was getting frustrated listening to it. But I mean, that's to be expected. You know what I mean?
we know
right?
with the zone be the zoning, man. We know you know they take what they can in a line of commentary and commentators, and anything goes over there. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think again, just back to Ray, give him another. I give him all the praise because honestly,
Absolutely.
him and George Kambosos fought the best fights so far that I've ever seen them fight.
Yeah.
But Ray moves to what, 18? No, not 18. He's not even at 10 yet. I forget what his record is. I think it's 9 or 10. 0-1 with that one draw, like you said. Ray's future is bright. I mean,
Absolutely.
I remember we talked about we've seen people turn into stars since we've been podding together. I mean, Berlanga is one of them. Tiafimo is one of them.
Yeah.
We've watched Shakur catapult since we've been podcasting.
We watched We watched Tev's Ascension.
Yeah, and
We watched
Descension.
Seven Farmers, Ascension, and postponement. We'll call it
Yeah,
that.
call it that. That's fine.
Postponement.
But yeah, so I mean, again, that's somebody. I think he's somebody absolutely to keep your eyes on in boxing. He's at the weight class too. That is like, 30, 35, 40. You know what I mean? He's getting into the weight class where there's a lot of people.
Where
You know what I mean?
he's right there where the pot's boiling, man. So
Yeah.
so he's right there where a lot of big fights could potentially happen for him. Even with this fight, they was comparing his performance to what
To Shakur.
to what Shakur did against him back in what was that 2020. That was like the first fight that they came back with COVID with.
Yeah, that was the COVID
Shakur
fight. That
kicked
was
it off, yeah.
That was Top Rank's first bubble fight when they were, you know what I mean, no crowd
Yeah.
and all of that. That was when Shakur
Yep.
came back. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I thought Ray did great. I think he fought a perfect fight. We saw what happened when he got touched because he did get touched once or twice.
Yeah.
Handled it perfectly fine. I think he was good.
He responded well to it.
Yeah,
He responded
absolutely. So great fight for him. Shout out to Ray. We cannot wait to see what happens in the future for you, man. It's going to be a beautiful thing. And big shout out to his team. He trains out of TKO over there in
Yes,
Cherry
sir.
Hill.
Yes,
And shout out to Reg and shout out to Adam. You know what I mean? They're moving the kid like they're supposed to move him.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful to
Absolutely.
watch. And then Then we can get into the shits. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, let's get to it, man.
First of all,
I think the topic of discussion today, the caption that'll go under this picture is
the name of the pod.
Along the lines of this. Everybody that's in your circle ain't necessarily in your corner. And that needs to be reiterated throughout this podcast, especially when we talking about, what we saw happen this weekend with Teofimo Lopez versus George Kambosos. I mean, where do we start? It was over before it began, man.
Oh yeah.
It was over before it began.
Well, I mean, all right, so how about we do this? Let's break down the lead up to the fight, even though we've been talking about the lead up to the fight. And then let's talk a little bit about how the fight started and then things that I guess we saw as the fight went on. So the first thing is the lead up to the fight, right?
Yeah.
COVID. Then somebody caught COVID.
Yep.
And then
Teofimo caught COVID.
Yeah, Teofimo got COVID. And then
vacation.
And then there was 4 other date changes.
He had a baby too, though. So if we gonna make that excuse for Ray,
so did Kambosos. Just gonna say that. Gonna say that.
True,
you know what I mean? So did Kambosos. So I mean, bro, the lead up to the fight was what it was. We saw a crazy roller coaster ride with Triller.
Yeah.
And
a whole lot of bravado and boasting from the camp of Teofimo Lopez. A whole lot of cockiness, a whole lot of a lot of big talk. You know what I mean? There's a lot of big talk that came from the camp of Teofimo Lopez ever since the Lomachenko win. And respectfully, the Lomachenko win.
It counts.
You can hang your hat on that,
right?
You can hang your hat on that because nobody else has fought him and beat him. That are of these other guys that we talking about that are the guys. If we're gonna call them the 4 horsemen of their era and weight class, then so be it. But none of them have fought any of the guys that are the guy except for him. So
right,
I get how that could affect the size of your cranium, but it's only so much big headedness and talking that you can do. And leading up to this, it was it was bad blood. It was
I want to know where that came from.
It was reminiscent of, and sidebar, I want to put this in parentheses. We have been fortunate in this fourth quarter of 2021 to get a lot of good fights, man. And I just want to commend the sport of boxing for allowing us to have something to actually talk about and be passionate about one way or the other. You know what I mean? But the bad blood, wherever it came from, it could have been just the postponement, the long period of time of having to just focus on this one guy, and you can't get him out your way because you gotta, you keep having to push back and wait. So it's on your mind constantly. Yeah. But the bad blood was there, just like the Canelo and Plant, just like Fury and Wilder. Like it was reminiscent of that in the energy between the fighters. So
see, I think, so my question, or I guess the reason I ask like where and why they came from, I honestly don't know the background of it, but like when you say those names, right? Caleb Plant, he's a champion, you know what I mean? And he's a world champ, and Canelo's Canelo. Wilder is a former, world champ, and there's a draw in the battle in the trilogy, you know what I mean? So like those names all hold weight.
Right.
Whereas like I feel like I'm just wondering where that came from and why Teofimo wasted so much energy on like hating George Kambosos. You know what I mean? Like, because if for all intent and purposes, bro, George Kambosos is like everybody said in the DAZN lead up, in the DAZN commentary, like he was the guy that was, like you said, he was the mandatory. He was just in the way at the time.
Yeah.
He was never supposed to be the big money fight. This was not supposed to happen.
Oh yeah, but believe me, they definitely fucked up the bag. Yesterday's price is not tomorrow's price. It's not yesterday's price. Believe me, Teofimo Lopez and his father have fucked up the bag. And see, this is the thing too. It's like this is another reason why the best should just fight the best.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and fight the best. The loss to Devin Haney, if you were to fight Devin Haney and lose, does not reflect the same as this unprecedented major upset wasn't supposed to happen fight that you took a loss to, and you didn't have to take this fight. They would have obliged and let you pass over him if you were going to do a unification bout.
At least he would have gotten a bag and lost.
Bag lost and lost to the guy, not lost to who you wasn't supposed to lose to.
Right.
And we've seen this happen too many times in the past 2 years. We watched this happen with Anthony Joshua twice.
Yeah.
We watched this happen with Wilder. The Wilder Joshua fight we didn't get, but he couldn't get through Fury, so that was that. But the point being, we lose out on the fights if you don't even make it to the big dance because you're losing the guys you're not supposed to lose to along the way.
Right.
And if you're trying to fight the guys that you think you're not supposed to lose to in order to avoid fighting the guy that's the guy, and you still lose anyway, it's a double L.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
that's a big old L for sure.
Yeah, it makes no sense, man.
All right,
so just fight the best and get it over with.
I'm with you. I agree. All right, so let's talk about the actual fight. We went through the lead up. We've done that for the past 9 months, anyways. Like I said, but the actual fight. Were you surprised that Teofimo came out the way he did? Because I kind of was. I'm not gonna lie.
I was surprised, but I tried it. I mean, initially, I gave him the benefit of the doubt that I figured he knew something that the commentary, the media, the betting books all thought to be true, was that this is going to be over. This guy shouldn't even be in the ring with me. You know what I mean? Because he definitely came out with no respect and no regard for his opponent. And, that cost him immediately.
Absolutely.
That karma came around fast.
Within the first round, when T.O. came out and he hit him with some decent shots.
Yeah.
And he missed a decent amount too. I will say that. Both of those are telltale signs to me. First of all, that you hit him with some good shots and the kid didn't wobble, didn't go anywhere. Yeah. Like, oh shit, okay, maybe this is all right. This is interesting. Let's see. I mean, Teofimo could maybe do this another round, and let's see if he can do this another. I mean, Kambosos can stand up another round.
Yeah.
But then what I noticed big time too was that Kambosos was making him miss, and I'm like, wait a minute, this kid's got defense. He looks kind of slick, like a decently slick boxer.
Yeah.
But also he's taking his shots.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, this kid is just really jumping in and trying to catch him. And I feel like Teofimo is going to get caught. He's going to get caught. And then bang.
Yep.
The punch you don't see. Just knocked him right down. And that changed the course of the rest of the fight.
Yeah,
honestly.
Because you know what? That sucked the air out of Teofimo right then and there.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like I said, he had no respect for him. And that was evident. And I think he also put a lot of pressure on himself by the Ali effect, just talking it into existence, willing your way to a result.
First round knockout. That's what he was saying.
When you may not necessarily be prepared for that. You may not, and he clearly wasn't. Everybody, that's why Ali is Ali. Like, you can't just do that. I mean, you talk your shit for sure, but he kind of dove into it a little too head first, and the pressure was on him, and also that showed like the overzealous, just extremely eager to try to go and do something dramatic, and it just never was there for him all night.
Yeah, no, obviously the later rounds he started, they were both beat up. You know what I mean? It was a rough fight. It was a rough fight. But I will say, I think that it started becoming less of a, okay, when is Teofimo finally going to catch him? Mm-hmm. And it started turning it into an upset as the fight went on. And I say that because you start to see the holes and the gaps in defense and in
the lack of a jab.
Technical shit.
The lack of a jab could have changed the whole fight from Teofimo Lopez.
There was a lot of things that Teofimo did wrong, and
he was dropping his hand after every jab he did throw.
Yeah, he was bringing his hand. Sticking the jab and it would come down. He switched from left to right. He switched from righty to southpaw a couple times, and I'm just like, yo, this kid is either. There's a few different things going on. There's either he's flustered because he can't knock this kid out. He actually is hurt. Maybe he's still bothered because that shot caught him and actually bothered him.
Mm-hmm.
Or, which I think I've had this. I talked to Alex at TKO. I was talking to him for a little bit. Shout out to Barbosa. him and I were talking about it, and I'm just asked the question, like, is it the fact that Teofimo had COVID and is coming off a layoff and all of that?
You know,
or is it that Kambosos had the perfect game plan to negate all of the Teofimo shit that Teofimo was doing?
Yeah. Well, I think it could be, you know what? It was just a perfect storm of everything that could go wrong for the Lopez camp, because I wasn't even thinking about the COVID thing, but that's a possibility, and not to make an excuse for him. And I haven't heard them use it or try to throw it out, and they've thrown some things out, but I haven't heard them throw this one out. But I haven't.
They're dying on other hills. So they're not dying on that hill.
I don't know if have you had COVID? I haven't had COVID.
Nah.
Knock on wood. But from what I hear, it can scar the lungs. It can
right. And that's what I was thinking too.
Respiratory issues, and not for nothing, but Teofimo Lopez's conditioning was in the basement.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw him, you know, fatigue in the Lomachenko fight towards the end of the fight, but so that might be an issue for him anyway. And you know, making weight, because he again, you could tell he's a big dude, like at that weight. So cutting weight could have been an issue.
He shouldn't be at 35. I mean, that's a conversation we can get into, but he's way too big for 35.
It's a perfect storm for him. And what's crazy to me is, you know, he had a great 2020. His father was named Trainer of the Year.
Was he?
Last year? Yeah, I'm almost 100% sure he was.
Oh, that's wild. I don't know that.
To go from that to watching what was non-existent in the Teofimo Lopez corner for this fight is just kind of like ridiculous. It's unbelievable. There was no instruction from his corner. His dad was in the corner as a fan with the best seat in the house. That's pretty much that's pretty much all he was good for. You know what I mean?
100%.
He was a fan.
I 100% agree, bro. That I know, obviously I want to talk a little bit more about Kambosos, but we'll get to him. But I think that came into play, like we said, as the fight went on. Just seeing the lack of instruction.
Yeah, zero. Even from the beginning of what do you call that? Like not instigating, but just like
pushing the build up. Yeah.
Pushing him into the fight that way, and being okay with all of that emotion, all of that undirected energy, and just the rush of adrenaline and amateur-esque behavior in trying to get this fight over with from round one.
Very much so.
There's nobody in the corner that can settle the fighter down. There's nobody in the corner that can say a word in the fighter's ear to give him a little nothing.
His instructions was, yo, fuck this kid up.
Yeah.
Fam, what? Oh, and he kept telling me he was winning rounds, that he was getting his fucking boots smoked in.
Right.
He was telling him he was winning. You got this kid. You go out there and fuck him up. And then towards the later rounds, I heard him say, like, you really gonna let this kid stay in here with you? You really gonna let him stay in here with you? Like,
everybody that's in your circle is not in your corner.
What is happening?
Sometimes you don't need your circle in your corner anyway. You know what I mean?
That was the craziest shit to hear. I'm watching this. I'm like, yo, give him some instructions. Tell him to use his jab. Tell him to go to the body. Tell him to create different angles and watch out for the overhand right. Like,
never was spoken. Those words were never spoken.
He didn't say any of that, bro. That threw me off. That threw me for a crazy loop. And again, he
needs to remove his father from his corner as his trainer. That needs to happen immediately.
We talk about this. We've talked about it before, about having your dad in the corner and how it can be one thing or another. It can be good. It can be bad. It can ruin a career, make a career. Fam, from what I saw, you need to switch that whole shit up.
Yeah. No, he needs. He got as far as he could get with Pops in the corner, man. I think it's time to switch it up.
Yeah, sometimes that's what it is. Maybe it's not so much that like he didn't learn anything from his dad, or his dad
learned a lot. Got him here.
His dad is not a good trainer, but exactly,
his dad was not ready for this next level. His dad, if whatever he was doing, from the performance and what we've been seeing in the lead up in the months that led to this, all of that was out the window once he beat Lomachenko. Like that's all Dad wanted to see happen. He's good with that. He wasn't ready for this new level this next level of defending and be getting longevity as a champion and being in this sport, you know, putting it down.
Right.
He was ready for that. He was happy with what they had and happy to celebrate that, which, you know, that's an accomplishment and you deserve that.
He should have just vacated. They all should have came to the conclusion that
that was conversation too. That was conversation too. But yeah, like I said, man, everybody in your circle ain't in your corner. And Teofimo Lopez, right about now, you need a whole new corner, man. You know, we can judge Sean Porter's father for how he handled the fights last week.
Reminded me of that, bro. It did. It really did. It was like 2 weeks in a row where I'm like, all right, these corners are like not my favorite right now. Like I feel like they maybe have the fighter's best interest, but maybe they just can't do the.
Well, there was no interest. I don't know what Teofimo's dad was doing.
Fam, wait, hold up, time out. Did you see when Teofimo got that bad cut over the eyebrow, the joint that was just leaking? It was like the seventh round, 8th round, somewhere around there. That was a big deal for him because I feel like that's the worst cut he's ever had.
Yeah. He went through a war this weekend.
Watching him go back to the corner, and I remember watching this and thinking about like I need to bring this up on the podcast.
Yeah.
Like he went and he stood in the corner, which that's one thing. You know, obviously you should have his stool and make him sit down because he can't get out of his own way. But that's okay, sure. There's fighters that stand in the corners. Fine. Yeah. Go stand in the corner. But I watched his cut man literally just look at this and not know what, like he was a deer in headlights, bro. Yeah. They took a Q-tip and they put it on there, and then that was really all that they showed his corner the whole time, and the cut man basically put the Q-tip there, wiped some of the blood off, put a Q-tip again, and then just put Vaseline on it. Like nothing really to like clean out the cut, to really get into it, to actually try and close it a little bit, squeeze it so you squeeze the blood out and it starts to clot a little bit. Like there's a little shit that corners do to like close those type of cuts. They're bad cuts, but like, fam, it just seemed like his corner was completely lost. And I felt terrible for the kid because that's his dad. That's probably his, grandpapa or his uncle or, you know what I mean? His dad's friend or whatever have you. And he don't know, you know what I mean? They don't know what that just is just tough, bro. It's tough to deal with. It's tough to see.
Yeah. It's the test always comes when, things start not going your way. And when you got to face real adversity that you're not sure you can overcome. And nobody on the Lopez camp was prepared for that. Everybody expected a pushover, an easy out, and go party in New York after this. And celebrate with all your friends and family that came to watch you. But it didn't happen that way. And like I said, it was a perfect storm for everything to go wrong for Tio. And on the other end of that spectrum, everything went right for George, man. Everything went right. The confidence of knocking the champ down round one.
Forget him.
And he came out with bad intentions and everything he wanted to do, and you get the knock down round one.
After him saying that I'm gonna knock you out in round one, you put him down on his ass. Oh,
right.
Yo, I'm on cloud nine. I'm boxing my ass off.
It doesn't matter what happens after this. Yeah. I don't care what happens, and that's kind of the way he fought. I don't care about looking good. I don't care about I don't care about nothing. I'm putting it all on the line, and he did. And you got to give credit to him for that. I thought he was very skilled. I thought he was definitely more skilled than I knew he was.
Right. Big facts.
I didn't know he was. I knew he was. I knew he was never scared. I knew he never wavered. I knew his energy that he presented every time he was on camera for the lead up to this fight was consistent. I knew that he was sacrificing a lot, being away from his family, being here in the States, and the prolonging and all of that. None of that stuff was his fault. And I know that he was frustrated behind all of those, different circumstances that prolonged the fight up into that point. But I also, like I said, I know he was focused and he had that same look in his eye from the beginning to last night. So
he kept that same energy, like you said. I agree with you. He kept the same energy from when the fight was supposed to happen 6 months ago to when it went down, the weigh-ins and all that shit.
Yeah.
I like the black gloves. That's a nice little touch that I seen popped up with the black gloves. Gave me some, you know what I mean? Some grimy type vibes. I was, again, George Kambosos, like you said, fought a magnificent fight. He gained a fan. Even if he would have lost, he gained a fan.
Yeah, me too.
I'm definitely making sure I tune in no matter what. But now he's fucking undisputed lineal champ or whatever you want to call it.
Not quite. Lineal, yes. And he did announce that he's definitely going to be at the Devin Haney fight this weekend, and he's already looking for the next thing.
Well, all right, so that's something I want to bring up. So big shout out to George Kambosos. Congratulations on that victory. Absolutely great performance. Beat the champ. We'll get to what Teofimo said after the fact in a minute, but I respect George. I almost called him George Lopez too. I respect Kambosos. For he has like that gladiator mentality and all of that stuff.
Spartan.
Like, yeah, the Spartan mentality. I love that. I respect that. There's very few fighters that I feel like still have that. But what I don't take issue with him, but what I take issue with is the shit I've been seeing immediately after on Twitter, all over the boxing sphere. Fam, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Tank. You name it.
Yeah, Ryan Garcia wants to come back now.
Everybody immediately calls out George Kambosos.
Yeah. So
Fam,
again,
where were
was
y'all
all this
at?
energy while Teofimo was holding on to him?
Exactly. Where was that at? He was the boogeyman for a little bit because he beat Loma.
Right, and people were shook behind that. Now that they seen the chink in the armor, and again, we just went through all the list of multitude of things that it could have been. Beating Loma might have been the worst thing to happen for Teofimo Lopez because the circle around him, it changed them. The success didn't change him, it changed them. And maybe it changed him too. But either way, nobody was prepared. But outside looking in, everybody else ain't know that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't know that. They don't know if he blowing smoke or it's fire. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they don't know. And now that they seen this happen, they're like, oh, well, I could take Kambosos. And that's, to be expected, but it does say something about y'all, man. Ryan
100%.
Garcia, keep doing TikToks and hanging with Jake Paul and them, man. What are you doing, man? You're not like, come on, man. I don't even want to see him fight for real. I don't want to see him fight.
I'm with you.
I never took Ryan Garcia serious. I don't think he takes himself serious. Whatever.
I just don't like to see Tank. I don't like to see Devin Haney. I don't like to see Ryan Garcia.
Don't talk now.
All of them,
I'm saying?
all of them just all of a sudden, like it just came up like, yap. I want to fight him. I'm going to fight him. I'm going to beat him. He was trash, blah, blah, blah. This, that, and the third. But like when the man had the belts, when Teofimo had the belts, y'all didn't say anything. Nobody
was in a rush.
It just doesn't. I don't like that. I don't like to see that from the generation. Like
that's to be expected, man. That looked like a money grab, a easy belt grab to guys that are considered the guys because a guy that's not the guy beat a guy that was the guy, and now everybody like I'm gonna go get that guy. Like get the fuck out of here, man.
Nah,
I hope George keeps up this momentum and keeps this energy for whoever because upset the apple cart again. You know what I'm saying?
And
just because they think it's that easy. Just because they think it's that easy.
He's been doing that. Like, that's what he said. Like, he was on Twitter or Instagram or something. I forget what it was. And within the last couple of days after the fight, basically saying like, yo, listen, my whole career, I've gone elsewhere. I've gone to the UK. I've gone to America. I've gone to Ireland. I fought their guys and beat their guys. Now, you guys want to fight me? I'm all for it. Come to Australia. Let's pack a 90,000 stadium, you know what I mean, full of people. Let's sell it out, and I'm getting my bag. And I'm shit. I would too. I would do the same thing.
You earned it. Yeah.
10-2. That's all I'm going to say. 10-2.
Yeah.
That's the next topic of conversation. 10-2.
Everybody in your circle ain't in your corner, man. I don't know who said what.
Wait, he said that. He said that.
Yeah. But he
his
went
face like this, leaking blood down here. Got a cut like this. His eyes hanging out here.
It's his dad's fault,
I won
man.
10-2.
I blame his dad. I blame his dad.
I don't know, bro. I've been in some sparring matches. I've only lost one amateur fight, but I knew I was getting my ass beat. Yeah. You could tell you getting your ass beat.
Yeah, you know when you are.
Damn. You can't have gone through that fight and say, I am definitely smoking this dude. It's not close. I am smoking him.
No.
10-2.
It could have been close, if anything.
Damn. I mean,
if anything,
maybe with the knockdowns, maybe that makes you think it's close, but he is Kambosos.
No.
He's walking away with shit.
Yeah, taking rounds left and right. So, that I thought that was in bad taste. I thought that was him trying to save face because he's talked so much leading up to this that he just had to go and try to talk his way into winning over somebody with changing their opinion or something. I don't know, but I don't think the judges had it out for Teofimo Lopez at all. I don't like you at home.
Nah, yeah,
you're in New York. I don't think anybody was like really against you. It was just bad. It was bad taste, man. That made me even less of a fan of Teofimo Lopez. Like,
I'm with you.
Take this, man. Take this because you could come back from it. If all of those other reasons or excuses that we laid out earlier in the pod were possibly, some of the things that, led to this performance you gave. All right, go back to the drawing board and work them things out. But don't do this. Don't try to talk your way into whatever you was trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
I wholeheartedly agree with you. I think that it's in poor. It was in poor taste for sure. At the very least, it was just in poor taste. And I know again the bad blood. We talked about it with the lead-in. They don't really like each other and all that shit. But at the end of the day, it is a Spartan gladiator warrior sport. And just you just shed blood with this man. Like,
yeah.
I don't like that in the ring after the fact. I get it sometimes with bad decisions, but that was not a bad decision.
No.
Not at all.
No. But the referee did raise his hand, and I thought they was about to give it to him too for a split second.
I did notice that. After the fact, and I watched it on Twitter and all that shit, I was like, oh, okay, I guess he did raise his hand, but like I don't know. But
because for a split second, I was about to go on a whole rant, like because I did think they was about to give it to Tio, and I not a bone in my body thought he deserved it, but. New York has been known to do things like of that nature, in different times and places.
Sometimes you never know. Sometimes you never know what's going to happen. But yeah, man.
This is another thing though. I did want to shout out whoever the DJ was in that whole card, bro, because not only was he rocking the whole stadium, he let Jadakiss, Who Shot Your Freestyle ring off. And then it was just nonstop New York energy the whole time. I thought that shit was incredible. It was definitely the energy in New York City in there that night, though, man. So definitely shout out to whoever the DJ was for the DAZN card this weekend, man.
Yeah, that was definitely it was definitely dope. I mean, it was New York vibes for sure.
Yeah,
it stinks that they're
giving it up.
Their New York guy didn't win, but what else? We got to recap a few other things. Steph Fulton fought this weekend. It was right after that fight. I don't know if you caught that fight. It was on Showtime. That was a hell of a brawl.
Yeah, could have went either way, man.
Yeah, it was close. He fought Brandon Figueroa. Brandon is just a typical Mexican boxer, man. He's just going like pressure in your chest all night and make it an ugly fight. And Steph is a great boxer with great angles, but like if you can't get this big ass lanky kid off of you, which he doesn't necessarily have the power to do that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a rough night. It was gonna be ugly.
It was a rough fight for him.
I do have to bring up
probably one of his toughest tests.
I do have to bring up though. I saw a bunch of people on Twitter throwing shade and talking shit about it's over for the black fighters wearing Mexican sombreros. It's over for that. It's played out. What are your thoughts, sir?
I mean, I don't think anybody should be doing it because that's another one of those things. It's just a cultural thing that Floyd Mayweather left. But everybody can't be Floyd, man. Yeah. Floyd was beating up Mexicans left and right on their best holiday. Cinco de Mayo turned into Cinco de Mayweather, and that was a factual thing. Like that might be in the dictionary at this point. It might be on the calendar in Mexico as we speak. It might be. It might be on the calendar. Like he was beating Mexicans' asses on Cinco de Mayo. So he earned the right to walk in there with a sombrero, whatever else he wanted to do. But these other guys just doing it to taunt, and then it's not even Cinco de Mayo. Like, it's just you really just trying to do what Floyd did, and that's just another thing that I think these fighters should stop and come up with their own way.
We need some good walkouts, man. I feel like the best walkouts that we've seen have been from Tyson Fury lately. He's the only one who does he has the pizzazz, you know what I mean? With the
Tyson Fury is his own man, so that's what that is.
I'm just saying,
he's got his own swag. He's his own guy. Jamel Herrings was cool. He came out with Kiss. He lost, but it was just the back to the basics. There's nothing wrong with that either. Like, you don't got to do the over the top, come in on a chariot. Like, you know what I mean? You ain't got to do all of that. Just back to the basics, man. Bars and boxing, man. Beatboxing. Just that's it. I'm cool with that. When they try to do all the extra shit, sometimes it's just,
it comes off a little cheesy. That's what this one.
It's like you need this. It turns you from a fighter to a hoe because you out here trying to shake your ass on the way to the ring to get people to like you and support you. You getting pimped, and I don't like to see niggas do that.
Who's the most guilty of that right now? And you better say the right fucking answer. Don't say no bullshit. You already know who it is.
The most guilty of that right now?
Yeah, the most guilty of being.
Adrian Broner came to mind.
He's not active, but that counts. So I'll give you that one. But there's only one other one, and he's like basically mini him.
Oh, what? Tank.
Yeah, he's the only one who's still.
He come out with rappers too, but it's a whole lot of bedazzled shit and all
jacket,
of this,
bro. I'll never forget that Michael Jackson
Thriller
jacket.
joint. Oh yeah, he wild out with that Thriller shit.
That's some bullshit.
He wild out with that Thriller shit. But I mean, it's like that's why you just got to give more credit to Bud, man, because he even made a comment about this whole Teofimo Bob Arum shit where Bob Arum was so big on Tio and he was willing to bet it on him more so than Bud, and maybe that's because Bob is a fan of the talk and the bigging yourself up in the cameras and saying controversial shit, as to where Bud just does the work, man, with these, man. He do work with these like Hercules, man. You know what I mean? That's all he do. He don't do nothing else. And and that could be to his detriment when it comes to people who are looking for you to do all of this extra ass shaking shit to get people to be interested in you. And it's like, fuck that, man.
I love that you call it that, because that's hilarious. Hilarious to me.
you shuck and jive, man.
That's fucked up. That's honestly,
shuck and jive.
That's what it kind of like. It's shades of that, and it's. I'm with you. It's not. I mean,
not to knock nobody hustle. You gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. But
there's ways
people
to
that ain't doing it. There's ways to do it without doing it.
Precisely.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You could be yourself and still get people to like you. But so
speaking of me liking somebody, we have to transition. We're gonna go to the next John. I have to bring it up. Mikaela Mayer and Alicia Baumgartner. Have you been seeing this? Have you seen the back and forth?
Oh. Bits and pieces.
Oh man, Alicia Baumgartner been going in. So first and foremost, I love that Mikaela she has a little, she's got spice for her. Michaela's the champ. Obviously, she's the WBC champ, but Alicia just won the WBO or WPLA title
like 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. And they immediately asked her about Mikaela Mayer in the ring. And she did the boxer answer. I'm going to take a minute and talk to my team, and we're going to regroup, go back to the drawing board, all of the typical boxer answer shit. And then Mikaela filmed her, or I guess her boyfriend or whatever filmed her like watching the fight and reacting to that. Like, but she was like, but say my name. They asked you about somebody specifically. And then now Alicia Baumgartner she's on whatchamacallit. She was on Twitter or some interview or whatever. And they said that, she's just barking. She's just a little poodle, she's just a little all she does is bark. She don't actually want to fight, blah, blah, blah. And then Mikaela Mayer just posted a response video to that. And they going back and forth, bro. And I guess I don't know too many times that has been two-sided that women fighters or lady fighters, female fighters, go back and forth. I mean, got sauce for each other.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't see that too often anymore. You know what I mean? We used to see that with Christy Martin and all of that, but we haven't seen that in a long time. I mean, I know Clarissa tries to do that stuff.
Nobody really want to talk back to her.
Nobody. Christina Hammer tried, and then we saw what happened. But she, you know, I mean, also the language barrier. She's German and all that stuff, and her shit came off a little racist, kind of fucked up. So you know what I mean? But between the two of them, I like it, and I want to see the fight because 2-minute rounds. Both of them like to bang. Count me in.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I don't know. I like this.
I'm with you.
I like the sauce they got for each other. I hope it get. I guess I'm okay. I mean, I guess I got to keep the same energy, but like I'm okay with them going back and forth because
I mean
they're nicer to look at, I guess, than watching the dudes go back.
Most definitely. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, when y'all see Phantom Punch podcast popping up on these females,
it's not me.
We know guy. You know who it is with the fast thumbs.
That's
all right.
That's this guy. What else we got, bro? Also there was other shit going on this weekend too. I don't know if you call it boxing. It's technically boxing, but not really.
This new triad shit, right?
Damn, what the fuck is this? Like
Shannon and Cannon and Rampage, man.
Did they fight?
Not yet. They was the captains of the teams, boxing versus MMA or some shit like that.
Wait, so is that what it was? They did boxing versus MMA, and because I saw Frank Mir fight some Povetkin or somebody, I forget who he fought, some Polish or German kid, and then I saw, I don't know, I saw one of the MMA dudes win. I think Marcus Brown. I think he fought. I don't remember, but
yeah, I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch any of it, but I guess. What are your thoughts? Because I think it's stupid as fuck, but that's my opinion.
You know, there's a whole new variant of these cross-contaminated fights that we've been talking about for about as long as COVID has existed. Like this came with COVID. This is a symptom of COVID. The cross-contaminated fights. Fighters don't know what sport they participate in any longer. It's just a whole big gumbo of a fight virus or some shit.
It's a fight virus, a new variant.
I don't subscribe. I'm vaccinated. So
that shit is hilarious.
Yeah, it doesn't really affect me either way.
Bro, I don't know, man. I feel like it just water to me it continues to water down the sport, but I don't at this point, like I told you before, I want Triller gone. I don't want them participating in none of this shit. Just go sit on the sideline somewhere.
They got too much money, man. They're not getting.
They do.
They're not
I
going
guess.
Nowhere.
I don't know how after they fucked up and fumbled this bag from Teofimo and Kambosos.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm interested to see if there's anybody important that actually fights in it, like if Rampage and Shannon and Cannon.
They are supposed to.
That's interesting to me.
I'll tune into that though.
That's interesting to me. I'd be open to seeing it. Yeah, now, are there gloves or is it bare knuckle?
No, it's boxing. It's what they've been doing.
Gloves?
I believe so.
Oh, I don't know.
It's just like a boxing match, but
it's a boxing in a triangle, boxing pie,
whatever. I don't know.
It's so stupid. All right, what else we got? One thing that you actually sent to me. I just listen. If you don't take anything away from this podcast, right? If you are just happen to be listening to a sports podcast and you just choose us, please, for the love of God, I preach it to my kid who's now looking to get into the amateurs, looking to get my 13-year-old who wants to get a couple amateur fights, he said.
Yeah. Don't take no credit for that, man. I did that.
You ain't do shit.
I did that. Listen.
I've raised them around this for 13 years.
Yeah. Now, Phantom Punch podcast listeners, what happened was this.
Here we go.
I told Johnny Southpaw's son, don't be like his dad. You 13, you're in school right now. You could be tough right now. You don't gotta wait. You don't gotta wait till you're 30. You could be tough right now and beat people up that want, try you. You can prepare yourself for life ahead right now. And you don't gotta wait, man. You know what I mean? Niggas like me, made John get tough, man. That's what happened, man. You don't want to have to wait till that. Be tough now already before they even come approach you. You know what I'm saying?
had y'all.
So that's what I told you.
I had you in high school, so I didn't have to worry about you. I mean, being. You ain't shit,
but nah,
yo.
shout out to Jake though, man. I want to see him do his thing, man.
Yeah, that's something. Maybe we'll document it or something. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. But I mean, that's later on down the road. But what I was trying to say is that boxing is not a sport that is meant to be fooled around with, played with.
Absolutely.
And like it's unlike any other sport. I know, again, you see the Jake Pauls, you see the
but even with them, you gotta at least tip your hat to the fact that they training. They are learning.
Right. No, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying? So play is, we can use that loosely around even what it is that they doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But the reason I bring this up is because there was a UNLV student who participated. His name was Nathan Valencia.
Mm-hmm.
20 years old. He's a junior at UNLV and was participating in, I guess, a fraternity fight night.
Yeah.
And tragically passed away about 4 days after participating in it. Again, it was for charity and all that stuff.
Straight to the hospital after that fight, and 4 days later it's passed.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Sad, man.
20 years old, had his whole life ahead of him. I mean, he was going to a pretty decent university. You know what I mean? He had aspirations and something that he wanted to become in life. And again, listen, and that is the kids that's this younger generation. That's kind of like my point about the Triller shit. Like,
it can bleed into the culture in a negative way.
Right.
Go ahead.
No. I was just saying, like, you see it bleeds into the culture, like you said, and it's like, oh yeah, if this TikToker or if this YouTuber can do it, I can do it. Not taking into consideration that, like, and again, not taking into consideration that those dudes, Jake Paul and Logan Paul, despite my opinion of them, they are training. They're being as cautious as you can be in the sport.
And they were training before the first time you saw them with a pair of gloves on.
Right. But if you get in there with somebody and you have 10-ounce gloves on, 12-ounce gloves on, those headgears are not built the way necessarily that they should be to protect people, you can take some serious damage. And I will always preach it. I don't even know where our listening fan base isn't, for the most part, in that age range. But if y'all have kids, just teach your kids that boxing is not to be fooled around with and played with. You can train, you can hit the bag, you can skip rope, you can speed bag. You know what I mean? You can do all of that stuff leading up to getting into the ring. Do all of that and don't get in the ring. Just don't do it. Because
don't get in until you're ready.
Yeah, don't get in until you're ready. Perfect example. Like I said, my son is, he's been training off and on with me for as long as he's been around. I've never let him spar a single time yet because he's never taken it seriously until now, and he still hasn't yet. He's got a few weeks.
Got a way to go.
He's got a few weeks before he can, get in there. And I told him, I was talking to him last night. I said, you are going to probably get beat up your first time in the ring, and you're you're going to figure out if you really want to fight or if you really want to box or not, because sometimes it's just not for people. Like,
right.
It's just not for you.
You got to be a certain degree of crazy to just sign up to get punched in the face.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's something that most people try to avoid every day of their life. And for you to want to do that, something you're a little off, so
yeah, big facts. I
mean, that's just part of the game though, man. But yeah, like you said, you can't play boxing. Condolences to the family of, what was his name again?
Nathan Valencia.
Nathan Valencia. Condolences to the family. It's a sad story, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
That's it, man. That's all that I got. I know we wanted to recap these fights and catch up on that, talk about Teofimo and get into that. This weekend, we have
got to see how Devin Haney's looking. Got to see how Devin comes out, man.
Joe Diaz.
It's not a bad fight, and the way things have been going. Things have been going, I might be, wanting to slide something on JoJo, man, because
fam, I bet on every single fight, and this fight, I looked at it, I was like, nah, I'm not really interested in anything. I'm just whatever. Like, sure, it was like plus something for Teofimo to stop him in like the first round or some shit, some crazy shit, and I was like, I just don't feel like betting on this. Like, I'm just gonna enjoy this fight,
right,
fam. He was 13-1 underdog.
Man.
That hurt my
Crazy,
heart.
man.
When he put him down in the first round, I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
I wonder what that was probably like plus like 10,000 for him
Right.
to knock Teofimo down in the
Right.
first round.
Right.
Like you bet $1 and win fucking $10,000. Like
Right.
fuck. That was
Yeah,
that
man.
was a little butthurt over that this weekend.
Yeah,
But
it should be. We all should be.
and listen, man, I'm at the end of the day, I might end up, like you said, throwing some money on Jojo Diaz just because I'm sure he is the underdog, but we've seen some wild shit in boxing this year.
Yeah. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah. And that I don't necessarily believe in Devin Haney. And I'm not afraid to say that. I still don't necessarily believe in him yet.
You know what? I've said that, but he showed me something his last fight. He had to face some adversity.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
And he overcame that. So I'm still watching him closely. The jury is still out, but I mean, shit, that could be said about everybody that's in the fight game right now. So
yeah,
how much do we really believe in anybody? You know, I mean, with the exception of the top 3 pound for pound guys. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm looking for
Crawford and who else? See, I snuck that in there.
Can't even say Spence anymore because we just don't know what we're going to get. Even though he came back and beat Danny Garcia after all of this shit happened. That's no, oh
yeah,
that's nothing to just look over.
I forgot that fight happened. Wow,
that happened.
That's crazy.
He he's coming back. Danny.
I heard Danny's coming back. I forget where I read that.
I think he moved up, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he's moving up. I'm curious to see, like moved up to what? Like 60 something? No, 50. Yeah, 54. So 60. What is that? 63, 62? I forget. But either way, like, no, 57. That would be, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still like. I don't know. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll cross that bridge when we see Danny actually getting back in the ring and get some shit announced. But right now he's rapping now. He just dropped a new song.
I did see that. See that.
Another father-son duo.
Yeah.
I'm not touching that. It is what it is.
It gets real crafty.
Yeah, we'll see though. This weekend we got Jojo Diaz taking on Devin Haney. That's going to be a good fight. DAZN has a strong rest of this year. We got Golovkin at the end of the year too.
Yeah.
It's going to be again. We still got boxing, and it's December already. Tomorrow's December 1st.
Tank coming up soon too. Oh shit, even that might have to bet on Pitbull, man.
Damn. I'm not doing that though.
I'm just start betting on the motherfuckers that's supposed to lose.
Sometimes I do that, bro, and that's the one time I don't do that.
Yeah.
I threw $5 on Caleb Plant. I knew he wasn't gonna win, but just in case, you know what I mean?
Right.
Fucking goddamn it, whatever.
Yeah, man.
That's it for me, bro. Do you have anything else?
No, sir.
All right, we got walkout. So you got walkout today?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna go ahead and do Jadakiss, Who Shot Your Freestyle.
Nice.
The live version from Versus though.
I'm gonna have to find that. I don't even know how I'm gonna find that. You just made my life difficult. All right, man. All right. So I am going to go with rest in peace to Virgil, an icon.
Yeah, no doubt.
In the culture. I mean, it's crazy to think that we lost 2 icons to the same nasty cancer this year. I mean, with Chadwick Boseman and with Virgil. But shout out to Virgil, rest in peace. So I'm gonna go with Dr. Birds. I mean, told Virgil, right brick on my brick. You know what I mean? By Griselda. So
nice one.
And that is it for me, sir. That's all I got.
Yes, sir. Phantom Punch Podcast, episode
58?
Where we at? 58?
58.
Episode 58, man. As always, man, you know what it is. Salute to every fighter that enters the ring. We said it before, we're going to say it again. The boxing is a hurt business, man. The hurt business. Don't play around with it. We're going to be here to continue to cover it for y'all, though, because this is what we into. So we see y'all next week, man. Paulo Ali, Johnny Southpaw. Salute.
Peace.